Life is in phases, men are in sizes. Every statement that is being made has a repercussion. It could be positive, it could be negative. Let's get into the matter for the day. It is Review Live on your screen with Ramsey and Michael. Today we want to talk about a statement that has been made. And this statement is coming from some persons that are members of the opposition party. But then so many things happen in Nigeria and it's been connected and tied to politics. But then there are so many handwritings on the wall, all right, that we don't need to be told before we know whatever statement some persons are making is in order. Let's look at this. End blame game, halt policy, Labour, Obi, Lukman tells Tinubu. Most times when you hear Obi talk, when you hear statements coming from Labour and the person of Lukman, some persons may think it is politics.
Former APC chairman, Northwest.
Yes. But what do you make of this statement? End blame game. All right? End blame game. That statement is to the president, remember?
Absolutely. Over the weekend, the Nigeria Labour Congress convened, and they categorically put out that particular thing. They said from the beginning, from the inception of Tinubu's administration, it's been harassment and intimidation, particularly to the Nigerian Labour Congress. And recently you can see that some government officials went to illegally occupy their offices and secretariat, and also the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers office in Lagos is occupied by government officials, and Labour is coming out to say, hey, you began by intimidating us, and we don't want to use, we know that we have a backing in the law where our rights are to be expressed freely and justly. And also Labour also put out that these protests that Nigerians engage peacefully, which is to address the hardship, the untold hardship Nigerians are facing right now, that there are some unionists that were targeted and criminalized. You know what that means? That means the government targeted some people who were seemingly anti-APC, or they saw them as
and that's where the problem is, because that's like digressing from the original thing, chasing shadows.
And that's the blame game.
That's the blame game.
Also coming from the presidential aspirant on the Labour Party, Peter Obi, he was like, hey, Nigerians are protesting on hardship. I don't feel this government should be thinking of those who are opposition. Of course, if oppositions must talk, when Goodluck was there, averagely when we had the people, let's say a president that Nigeria said, hey, he's a gentleman, he's good, we still had opposition. We had insurgency, we had Boko Haram, we had opposition throwing tantrums and stones.
Every government
absolutely
has opposition.
There is no government without opposition. But then criminalizing unionists or those who are opposition and intimidating and harassing them constantly, which is coming from Nigeria Labour Congress chairman Joe Ajero. He's telling the government, we are not intimidated, we're not harassed. We also want to tell you that if this minimum wage you signed to bill comes to the time of agreement and you don't address it, we'll also take out to the street. Nigerians have the freedom of speech and expression. Allow them to express themselves. Take your time and address these things, the grievances the Nigerians are putting out to you, instead of the blame game. You're blaming this person and the things you're supposed to sit down and address. They also mentioned that the best way for Nigerians to start healing is to release those that have been unruly arrested because they are unionists, they are Marxists, they have a different mindset from what APC is preaching. They want Nigeria to get better, and they were arrested at homes and in open places. Release them, and then that is the first step for Nigeria to start healing.
All right. That's so all-encompassing. But before we bring review to a wrap, let me ask you this question now. As it is right now, the protests, I think so far so good. Everywhere is calm. All right, everywhere is calm. But do you see this government doing anything about this protest? Some persons are still in custody, and Amnesty International a lot of other persons are agitating that people who are held should be released. And some persons' accounts were actually blocked. Because they were allegedly sponsored of the protest, according to what we heard.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not, I don't know, that wasn't publicly proven, but that's what we heard. Do you see all of this, okay, as an infringement on the people's right and maybe an attempt to shut the people from carrying out protests? Because protest is one of the ways that the people can actually express themselves, like you have said.
I think so, because if Mr. Lukman, who was the former APC Northwest Central Chairman, comes out to tell us that, hey, President should, he was with them. He's still once a chairman, always. I mean,
always
the
a
APC,
chairman. And
they're coming out to tell us that the presidency should focus on addressing the hardship and the unprecedented hardship and suffering and all that, instead of sitting down and you're blaming people for this, not doing that. I wrote out this money, but then you've not told us these things. The money you told us you've budgeted and then you wrote out, just like when we heard on paper, not in practicality, that certain trucks of rice, 250,000 trucks of rice were sent to every state. We also heard that the legislatures or the House of Rep members said that voluntarily we're going to give out 50% of our salaries to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians.
Which bureaucracy did not allow to happen in July. We're waiting for August.
You can imagine they used the word in quote bureaucracy, that is government. So are you telling us that you the government, you are not allowing yourself to release the money?
That's where the game is.
I don't know.
Blame game everywhere.
Blame game everywhere.
Game everywhere.
So when P2B, not just this thing, P2B is saying, every other person that spoke about the government paying their nonchalant attitude, paying deaf ears to the Nigerians, when you did a broadcast, what was the main context of that this in live broadcast the presidency did? I have this thing, I have done this, I've rolled out money for palliatives, I've given out student loan that the students have not even seen. We sent trucks.
It's just like trucks of rice that Nigerians have not seen.
We're going to sell rice
for 40,000 naira, and we've not seen no designated places where this rice has been sold.
Last week they told us the office of the chief of the of the Federation is where it's going to start.
But they came out the following day to say, well, civil servants are no longer going to get the rice.
So
now.
A lot of propagandas.
So we don't even know.
Without tangibility and then authenticity. What is happening?
But then the truth is this is the time that Nigerians need to rise. No time to relax. This is no time to relax at all. Everyone needs to be on their toes to call to order whoever that has made one promise or the other that is not fulfilling it. Because the hunger is much. Our economy cannot grow. The society cannot be good. Because if there is hunger, the people will be forced to do things that they are not supposed to do. What about the cyberspace? How safe is it? Transactions happening everywhere. How safe is this transaction? Our economy trying to pick up because people are crying on a daily basis because of the dwindling nature of the economy. But how did we achieve this? How are we going to achieve all of this if we are still shifting blames here and there, not taking responsibility and bringing to the table the accountability and, of course, succor that Nigerians need? This is the size of the review for this morning. I don't know, but then Nigeria is a great nation and this country is going to be great again. That I know. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Thank you, Michael, for coming around. We will see you again, viewers, and that's going to be tomorrow, same time, same station. Have a beautiful day.